What's up, a Cinema Shogun here, and Billy Eichner is having a complete meltdown on Twitter right now, and I love to see it. In fact, I am thoroughly entertained by it. Why is he having this meltdown, you ask? Well, because he had a gay rom-com movie called Bros release over the weekend, and apparently it is a bomb. It has flopped at the box office, and I mean anyone in their right mind saw this coming. What made you think this movie was going to be a massive blockbuster, a massive box office success? Not only is the movie pandering to a very small group of people within this country, but also throughout the marketing of this movie, they have alienated people. They have told people that they don't want them to come to their movie if they voted a certain way or if they think a certain way. Billy Eichner is really ugly on Twitter, constantly being really divisive, throwing out all types of political propaganda, and even gay people seem not to like Billy Eichner. Now, for me, my only experiences with Billy Eichner is I know him from Billy on the Streets. And I think Billy on the Streets was funny sometimes. And I think he appeared in a season or two of American Horror Story. I personally never had anything against the guy. But once I saw how he acted on Twitter, it definitely put a bad taste in my mouth. But he wasn't someone I followed, wasn't someone I cared about. But when this Bros movie came about, it automatically threw me off. I was put off by it, by the title. I believe that there can be movies about gay love and couples, and who cares, you know? Make movies for whoever you want to make movies for. Make as many movies as possible. I love movies. I think everyone should have a movie that they can connect with, right? But the name Bros is what stuck out to me because Hollywood, I know a lot of you people might not realize this, there has been a direct attack on straight male friendships in Hollywood. They act as if straight males can no longer be close, can no longer be friends. And as a male, when we use the word bros, when we call someone a bro, or our bro, this is my bro, we're the bros, that's an indication that this is a friend that is closer than your average acquaintance. This is someone that is like a brother to me. But in modern day society, especially here in America, people pretend as if guys can't be close friends anymore. That one of these guys must be lusting after each other. And there has to be some homo weird stuff going on between the two. And it's created a rift for people because some people really care about how society judges them. And if anything, when we're in a time where they say that men can be more sensitive and they can talk to people about their feelings, they're also telling people, hey, if you're a man and you have these feelings and maybe you have a close friend that's a guy, then you're probably gay. So the title of the movie Bros was one that really threw me off because it's just a further attack on the straight male friendships here in America and abroad. I'm not sure how things are happening in your country, but here there's definitely a stigmatism. I don't know exactly what to call it, but it's like guys can't be close friends anymore. So the title of the movie threw me off. As a straight male, I'm probably not going to spend money to go see a rom-com in theaters. Don't get me wrong. I like some rom-coms, and those are movies that I usually watch at home. I'm not going to go spend $50 to go see a rom-com in theaters, let alone one about two guys porking each other in the butt. I mean, if that's their thing and if that's your thing, more power to you. I have nothing against that, but why would I go see that? It doesn't stick out to me as something I would like to see. And then if we really apply the Hollywood's way of thinking these days, Hollywood's way of thinking these days is if you don't see yourself represented on screen, then you can't connect with the character. That's one of the arguments they use when they race swap people like Ariel, or they put, African American people and Hispanic people in the Lord of the Rings. They act as if, oh, you can't connect with the character unless that character is the same skin color as you or has the same sexuality as you. So why would I connect with these characters in this Bros movie if I don't see myself in those characters? And I don't have to see myself in characters in order to enjoy a movie or a story, but I'm just saying, if we're using Hollywood's current way of thinking, why would straight people go see this movie? Well, anyways, after the movie flopped, Billy Eichner took to Twitter to, of course, do the usual. You know, what Hollywood does these days is they virtue signal. They don't market a movie by, hey, this movie's going to be good. Look at this. Here's this. They market a movie by saying, hey, there's going to be gay shit in this movie. Guess what? There's black people in this movie. Guess what? There's this in this movie. Guess what? If you go watch this movie, it is a, by watching this movie, you're crapping on a different political base. Or it's really weird how they market movies nowadays. They no longer market movies about the actual movie. They market around all of the propaganda surrounding the movie. So with the Boys movie coming out, Billy Eichner was literally on Twitter not too long ago saying that he doesn't want conservatives to come see his film, saying that he doesn't even want gay people to come see his film if they happen to vote for Donald Trump. So he's been out there being really divisive. He has shunned half of the people who may have watched this movie. Because, I don't consider myself a conservative or a liberal. I don't place political labels on myself. But when you're coming out and like, hey, you're promoting a movie or a product, and you say, hey, half the country, we don't want you showing up here. That's never a good marketing tool. That's not a good marketing scheme. That's not going to make people show up to your movies. So what happens here, and we see it time and time in Hollywood, they actively tell people, don't come see this movie. And then when those people don't come see that movie, they complain about those people not seeing the movie. The same thing happened with the Charlie's Angels reboots recently. One of the actresses on there said that they don't want straight white men coming to see the movie. And then like 2 weeks later when the movie flopped, they're like, hey, how come more straight white men aren't coming to see this movie? So this movie has been marketed by Billy Eichner by being a really gay movie. That's all we know about the movie, is that it's gay. And that Billy Eichner has been attacking people left and right, telling people not to come to his movie. Well, of course the movie flopped. And we all knew that would be the case. But here is what Billy Eichner has to say. Rolling Stone already has Bros on the list of the best comedies of the 21st century. What's also true is that at one point a theater chain called Universal and said they were pulling the trailer because of the gay content. America, F yeah. That's just the world we live in, unfortunately. Even with glowing reviews and great Rotten Tomatoes scores, and even a cinema score, etc., straight people, especially in certain parts of the country, just didn't show up for Bros. And that's disappointing, but it is what it is. Everyone who isn't a homophobic weirdo should go see Bros tonight. You will have a blast. And it is special and uniquely powerful to see this particular story on a big screen, especially for queer folks who don't get this opportunity often. I love this movie so much. Go, Bros. So basically, if you don't have the money to go see Bros right now, you're a homophobe now. And I am so glad Billy Eichner did this, because what he did is he opened up people's eyes to what's been going on in Hollywood for a while. Now, if you're just an average moviegoer, you might not know this, but if you're someone that's been entrenched in fandom and pop culture, if you're someone that's into Marvel, Lord of the Rings, Disney, Star Wars, Star Trek, any of these more nerd-like properties, then you already know that this has been a tactic used for like the last few years now. They label the fans racist. They'll come out, they'll have the actors or the actresses working on this film. They will be all over Twitter talking crap about a certain political party, basically demonizing half of the country. And then they wonder why their box office results aren't as good as they could have been. Billy Eichner, you obviously need some type of self-awareness, because this movie was made for a very niche group. Make no mistake about it. My numbers might not be exactly correct, but LGBTQ people make up what? Maybe 5% of this country, if that. So when you're making a movie that's directed towards only 5% of people, and then in the marketing of that movie, you basically tell everyone not to watch this movie who don't vote or think the same way as you, why would you think this movie was ever going to be a success in the first place? This movie was done for before it even released. I mean, even if there was nothing said here, if Billy Eichner didn't say anything, even if the marketing of this movie was good, this movie was never going to be as big as they wanted it to be. Because the reality is, normal everyday people don't care about this stuff. Yeah, on Twitter, you might think that the majority of people think the same way as you because Twitter is a cesspool full of weirdos and SJWs. But in reality, in the real world, people don't care about this. Even gay people. And I have seen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people reacting to this. Gay people reacting to this. And they don't care about this movie. They don't want to see this movie. If anything, there are a lot of gay people out there, a lot of LGBTQ folks out there that are tired of the way they are being portrayed on the big screen. It seems like every time there's a gay character, they have to be overly sexualized and stuff like that. And, you know, in my life, meeting plenty of gay people throughout the time that I've been on this earth, I've never met a gay person that acts the way that gay people act on movies. Don't get me wrong, I've run into my fair share of flamboyant gay people who like to be really colorful and out there and stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I've never met someone that was just so hyper-focused and sexualized the way that movies portray gay people. And I think gay people are tired of seeing that. So they don't even want to go see this movie. Not to mention, I think it's ingrained in us, in all of us, even people who swing different ways, that we're more attracted to a story or a love story between a male and a female. Because biologically, there's something inside our body that lets us know that that couple can create new life. You know what I mean? There's something mysterious and whimsical and magical about how a straight couple can create new life. And I think that's why a lot of us, even gay people, are more invested in straight love stories. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with having gay love stories and gay movies. Cool. Do what you want. But don't market those movies on the sole fact that, hey, there's gay characters in this movie. Don't market that movie by basically saying, hey, if you don't watch this movie, you're a homophobe and you hate gay people. Because that's going to turn people off every single time. But for some reason, there seems to be this need to shove this stuff down our throat. And it's like the majority of society accepts the fact that there are people who like people of the same gender. We all get it. Most of us don't care. Personally, I don't care at all. And I don't view anyone as being different or a bad person because of that. But at the same time, I'm over it. I don't need to see the constant virtue signals. You don't have to shove your way of life down my throat. You don't constantly have to look my way for acceptance. We accept you. The majority of society accepts you. We don't need all of this extra nonsense 24/7, which is what is going on constantly. And for someone to say that, oh, you're a phobe if you don't go see this movie about two gay lovers. Well, okay, call me what you want. I'm not going to go spend my money to see that. Also, let's think about the economy. Let's not sit here and pretend like every single thing we purchase, from gas to groceries, doesn't cost 3 times how much it used to cost before Biden got in office. Everything's expensive. Half these people don't even have the money to be able to afford to go to a movie. But now they're being called phobic because they didn't go see a movie about 2 guys kissing each other. Like, who cares? But Billy Eichner, I think he is more destructive than he realizes. I think that the main reason people aren't showing up to this movie is because of him. Now, earlier in the video, I stated that I never had a problem with Billy Eichner. I didn't. But following him on Twitter, you see the type of person he is, and he's always saying something really, really messed up. something that would offend at least half the country. Now, I'm not necessarily always offended by his post, and I want to make it clear, I'm not the type of person that when you say something or do something wrong, that I immediately go and try to find all of the messed up things you've ever said in your life. I hate that. When someone makes a mistake, when someone's under fire, when someone's getting canceled, when someone does something you don't agree with, I'm just not the type of person that thinks it's cool to go through their back history. Let me check Billy Eichner's Twitter and find everything he ever tweeted that seems bad or problematic. I'm not that type of person. But the internet will do what it does. And of course, the internet has been digging up bad takes from Billy Eichner for the past 2 days now. One I would like to read to you. Get your fictional, hateful Bible stories and your fake fictional religious bullish out of our effing lives, F you. This is the type of person who, for some reason, can't understand why people might not want to see his movie. Every day, Billy Eichner is on Twitter saying stuff like this, demonizing people who may be religious, demonizing people who may be Republican, demonizing people who may be straight. Constantly, he's attacking portions of our society. Singling out people or singling out groups because of their beliefs. You see how easy it is for him to say this about religious people, about Christians? Yet if you don't see his movie, you're a bad person. So when you take all of this stuff together, you pour it in a pot and you stir it around, what do you get? You get a box office failure and probably one of the worst, stupidest movies of all time. You know, let's just make a list. Okay, so Billy Eichner's on Twitter all day, every day, talking crap about people and their beliefs and their ways of life. Billy Eichner marketed this movie by saying that he hopes Trump supporters and conservatives, regardless if they're gay or straight, don't show up to his movie. I mean, what more do you want? And then let's think about some of the lines that were in the trailer. In one of the trailers to this movie, there's a line that, don't quote me, but it goes something like this. It says, "Do you remember straight people? Yeah, they had a good run." As if straight people don't exist anymore. Straight people had a good run, but now it's time for the Bros movie to take over. And then there's this one post, it's one of those paid for advertisements on Twitter where it's not like, you could scroll down your feed and you know what's tweets and then you know what's an ad. And it's an ad for the Bros movie. And it says something about straight relationships being so boring compared to gay relationships. And straight love is boring compared to this love. And that's what I was like, whoa. If you want to have your gay movies and stuff, cool, but why do you feel like you have to attack straight people in order for them to exist? Why are you pretending as if this love is more unique and more beautiful than this love? It doesn't make sense, especially when one form of love actually creates new life and, it helps human life go on throughout generations. But hey, whatever. The movie sucks. Everyone knows it. I will never watch this movie. I will probably never watch anything Billy Eichner does again, which is sad because I never had a problem with him before all of this nonsense. But I want to know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all on the next video.